Hi boys and girls, it's Mrs. Levitt, and today we're going to be making the Nutcracker. If you would like to, you can cut him out and make him 3D, and I will show you how to do that at the end. So the first thing you're going to need is you're going to need a piece of paper, you're going to need a pencil, and I prefer markers for this project, but I also like to use crayons for the skin tone. So go get your supplies and come right back. So now what you're going to do is you're going to take your paper and you want to fold it in half, because you want a tall, skinny piece of paper. I am not a super fan of nutcrackers, but I think they're really fun to draw. So I'm going to divide my paper into 3 parts. You may want to go a little bit longer in this third than the other 2/3 because of your hat, depending on how tall your hat is. So I'm going to guesstimate that this is a third for the head and the hat, this is a third for the torso, and this is a third for the legs. All right, so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be drawing the head first, then the torso, and then the easy part is the legs. So while we're drawing, I want you to think about what kind of uniform you want to have. There's all sorts of different uniforms, and I'm going to draw one of these, but you are welcome to change yours up however you wish. I went to VCU, Virginia Commonwealth University, so I made a VCU nutcracker. You might choose to make yours have on a jersey and holding a basketball and have a basketball player. Or maybe yours is a ballerina and you want to add a ballerina skirt and some ballet slippers. You can change your nutcracker to anything you want. This is from the Nutcracker suite. You could turn this into a mouse. So let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the head. So I'm going to make right where this square is, or right where this line is, I'm going to make a square. And my square is going to be a rounded square. That rounded square, and I'm not sure if you can see that very well. I'm going to go ahead and outline it with the black so that you can see it a little bit better. But again, do it with the pencil, because if you make a mistake, you can't erase. And this is going to be where my teeth are. Now, I'm not sure you realize this, but a nutcracker, actually, you open the mouth, you lift the lever in the back, and it opens, and you put your nut and you crack it with the mouth of your nutcracker. A lot of nutcrackers now are decorative, and so they don't really cut or crack the nuts, but there you go. So there's my mouth, and it's a little creepy looking, but we're gonna make it look great. All right, so I'm going to make 2 lines. It looks like one line goes all the way through. Since that's black right there, I could go all the way through. If you don't want to have your mouth open, just keep your teeth together. It doesn't matter. All right, so I've got that long line, and this is where my body's going to be. I'm going to come back to that later. On either side of this, I'm going to go up, and I'm going up about halfway of this section. And then I'm going to do a line across the top. That's if I have a hat. If I don't have a hat, I may want to have this round. If you have a mouse or a bald person, you'll do that. I'm going to make my hat, go ahead and make my hat tall, and I'm going to do curves on it. And then I'm going to put a little button on the top. And then I like to put 2 or 3 lines here. And on my VCU one, this is where I added the letters. If you wanted to add the letters, you could do that. All right, so now I'm going to find the center, and I'm going to make this long, skinny U nose. It is very unattractive, but it will look great when we're done. I'm going to add my eyebrows, and then I'd call it my football eye. It's an arch and a smile, and an arch and a smile. Now, some people have difficulties doing that, and there are nutcrackers that have their eyes closed. So you could do your eyes closed, and instead of doing a soldier's hat, you could do a king's crown if you would like. All right, now I'm going to add the circle eye, and I'll go back and color that in later. I really do not like circle cheeks, but a lot of times in the nutcracker, you will see the circle cheeks, so you can do that. There is a mustache on this particular nutcracker, so I'm just going to make any shape, but I just need to repeat it. It's opposite on the other side. So there I go for my mustache. And then under his beard, you can make his beard wider than his mouth or just on the bottom. I'm doing it just on the bottom, and I'm going to do some zigzags. And you can have a short beard or a long beard. I'm doing a long beard on this one. I usually do the long beard, but I have done a short beard before. So this one has a short beard. And again, you can color your hair whatever color you would like. I'm going to do zigzag lines for my hair. And they're just kind of little points in. And like I said, you can make them smooth. Some people don't put an ear on there, but if you are going to put an ear, it's going to be right about the same height as your eye, and it's not going to go longer than your nose. All right, so now I'm going to move into the torso. The torso is the body. So this long line is going to stop right where that dot was, and this long line is going to stop right where that dot was. And I'm going to come in, and now I'm going to make the torso. So I'm going to come in and in, and I've got my rectangular body, and then I'm going to move over slightly, and I'm going to angle this in just a little bit and make my arms. And it looks very odd because he doesn't have a neck, but that is the proper way. I'm adding a curve here because he has fancy shoulders, and I'm just adding some circles on the end. You can stripe this, you can do whatever. On my VCU one, I added black and gray stripes to match his belt. You can do a belt, which is 2 lines, or you can do a sash. So I'm going to do a sash today. So I'm going to go across, across. And if this was going to be a belt, I would put a square with a small square. But I'm making a sash because mine's going to be Scottish. And so he's going to have this long sash. It goes past his body, and then another piece that's a little bit longer, but not as wide. So there's my sash. Don't worry about that line. I'll show you how to fix that in a minute. All right, so I finished this part except for my buttons. So to make your buttons, you can do them however you wish. You can do just simple buttons like this. You can do connections. And because I've run into his beard, I'm going to have to pick up my piece every time I run into his beard. All right, and then I'm going to color in these. Some people make them gold. I usually make mine gold or yellow. I'm going to make them black today. All right, and then I'm going to make the cuff of his sleeve. So I'm just making a slightly bigger rectangle. You can angle it if you want. There's going to be an oval for the hand. And then the best part is the legs because they're super simple. So you're going to come straight down, leave a little space at the bottom, straight down, and then the same thing here. Now his leg is under that sash, so I'm just going to pick it up where the sash stops, and then I'm going to come in a little bit. And if I want to make these boots, I can do these one of 2 ways. So most of the time I will do a rectangle right about where his knee would be, and then I will complete it with a rectangle. These boots are not going to be that way. I'm going to do an arch, and then down here for his foot, I'm going to make a bigger arch, and then I'm going to stop by making just a straight line. Now, I'm going to color his sash real quickly, and then I'm going to leave the rest up to you. But when I color his sash, because I am making a tartan plaid, that is a Scottish plaid, I'm just going to do lines going both directions. So on this, oh, that was part of his jacket. Sorry about that. I'm going to color that in. See, I can fix most mistakes. This is his jacket. I'm going to do the stripes, and here I'm going to do the stripes. And then I'm making it a plaid. So my plaid is going to go both directions. I'm going to do my red this way, but I'm also going to be doing it down. So I've got my plaid, and I'm skipping every other one, and then I'm going down, and the same thing over here. And you can add other colors, yellows, greens, whatever you want to make your own plaid. And it just makes it a little bit more fun to make it a little bit more interesting. All right, so you get the idea. All right, and then this I'm going to make yellow. All right, so let's say I've colored all of this in. So it's all done and I've colored him in and I'm ready to cut him out. So when I go to cut him out, I have this doubled. You can cut him out double if you want, or you can fold him, and I'm just going to bring my finger down the side and I'm going to tear my paper. Now, if you want to cut your paper, that's fine. You'll notice I'm moving my hand down to kind of protect my Nutcracker, and I've torn the paper. Now I'm going to cut him out. So this is very flimsy paper. So I'm going to show you what to do to reinforce that. So you're going to cut him out and you're just going to cut all the way around. So let's pretend I've cut this whole guy out, and now I have my VCU guy, and I'm going to flip him over and I'm going to use a toilet paper tube. Now, if you have a paper towel tube, that's even better because he's tall. If it's too long, you just snip off the end. I'm going to use this because I only have a toilet paper tube. I'm out of my paper towel tubes. Actually, this was a paper towel tube and I cut it. And I'm going to cut another little piece since my tube is not all the way the same length, and I'm going to cut a little slit. So I'm going to tape that down to give him extra support. So I'm going to grab my tape. You can glue him. I prefer glue, but I know most people don't have glue. And now lots of people have tape at home. So I'm going to show you how to do the tape. That was something I always asked for as a kid in my stocking, was my own personal tape. And I got it every year and I was so excited about it. All right. So now I'm going to take my tape and I'm going to press it on one side, and I didn't do a great job on this side, so I need to go back. It's kind of hard to do it near his feet because the feet are so skinny. So I've got him taped. And if it's still too floppy, again, you can just add another little piece and you can overlap this because this is in the back, and you can stick it down into the tube. I'm going to do that even though I really don't need to do it because mine is pretty sturdy. But I like to put my tape on an angle. And it's not very pretty on the back, but you could always add another Nutcracker to the back. So you could have a two-sided Nutcracker. And there you go. There is my Nutcracker ready to stand up and ready for action. So I hope you enjoyed making the Nutcracker today. And I look forward to seeing what you do. Please post your pictures in the comments. Bye.